here to share in the joy of two people who come together to profess their love for one another, two that have come to unite their hearts and lives in marriage. Who gives this bride to be with her groom?
Her mother and I.
Thank you. You may be seated. Before we start, did you bird-proof the area?
Yes.
Okay. If you don't know what that means, you will here momentarily. Every minute of every day, people meet. They're introduced, and they go back to their ordinary lives with little to no effect. But sometimes things are different. People meet, and there's the tiniest, almost undetectable spark, a magnetic pull that will continually draw you together. Sometimes the pull is so strong that it is if you were meant to be before you even knew it. I think that falls in line with the story that we're going to tell here today. There's a recognition that your world has changed, and so have you because of the love that you have received from one person who was meant to be with you, the person meant to be yours, and the understanding that you do belong together. Your contentment may be tested through the years, but you will lean on each other. You will persevere because of love. After all, everything begins and ends in our hearts. While life may not be perfect, there are perfect moments. Recognize them, celebrate them, and cherish them. A good marriage must be built. It is going to be work. It is behaving so that your spouse wants to become a better person because of you. It is the common search for the good in the world that can, unfortunately, sometimes be ugly. It's the capacity to forgive and forget. It's saying thank you. It's never being too old to hold hands. It is remembering to say that I love you, and it's standing together to face whatever may come your way. Love means being willing to give more than you take, to be strong enough to admit when you are wrong, and to say that you are sorry, even if you don't mean it right at that moment. When I meet with couples, I ask them to share with me their journey. Tell me what brought us here today. I ask them to share memorable moments and things that has happened along their relationship. And sometimes I share those moments as part of the ceremony. The story of Taylor and Dylan did not disappoint me. In fact, one would say that maybe their journey has been a Hallmark or Lifetime movie worthy. A young girl and her best friend take a vacation to Myrtle Beach, not before a hurricane threatens to cancel their plans and force them to do or take them someplace else. But they take the chance of fate, and they continue with their plans and come to South Carolina. After arriving, they take a trip to the Garden City Pier in hopes to see some sharks, but not before stopping to grab some hot dogs. And that's a key point that we're going to come back to. As they walk down the pier, and this was my favorite part, in a sea of retired men, at the end of the pier, there stands a tall, tan, shirtless Dylan in neon green swim trunks. Taylor's first thought was, whose son is this? So Taylor and Lauren start to look for sharks, and they just happen to end up right beside Mr. Tall, Dark, and Handsome. After some small talk and obviously some macho flirting from Dylan, my guy here tries to tell Taylor that he's going to teach her how to bird-proof his fishing line. That's not a thing if you're not a fisherman. So after a while, the girls get ready to leave, and Dylan here takes his shot. He asks to take them to dinner the next night. After what I'm sure was a giddly girl talk ride back to where they were staying, Lauren encourages Taylor to take her shot and texts Dylan to see if he would take them fishing that very night. The ironic or perfect scene again here in this love story is that Dylan wasn't supposed to be fishing that day. Normally, Nick drove them fishing in his truck so they had plenty of room for their gear. But this day, Dylan packed all of his gear in his little Camry, poles sticking out of the windows and all. And I know you got that from West Virginia.
Yes, sir.
But now the vacation comes to an end. Summer lovin', having a blast is over. Will she ever see her studly fisherman again? In fact, she does. Dylan invites the girls down following a month from their first trip, and Lauren knew that there was going to be many more trips to see Dylan. After a few more trips over the next few months, something spectacular happened on March 15th, 2020. Taylor and one of her bridesmaids made the trip down to visit Dylan, but this time, COVID shut everything down. Both of them were without work, but it provided the perfect opportunity for Taylor to stay and fish and spend more time with Dylan. Obviously, she was hooked. A month later, Taylor decides to move to Myrtle Beach, and on September the 10th, 2020, Dylan casted his best cast and caught the love of his life with a marriage proposal, and that's how we got here today. However, Taylor says the reason that we got here today is because Lauren wanted some wieners.
Thank you. That's great.
You're welcome. Dylan and Taylor, it is my complete honor to be here today with you as we solidify the love that you have for one another. And I truly wish you both, your fur babies, and your families the very best. Let's bow our heads. Bless this beautiful couple, dear Lord, with love and hope that we pray today. Give forevermore the vows that they're about to pledge to take. May their dreams and visions always be blessed, and may you always keep them safe. May peace and joy be with them now, here on their wedding day. Dylan and Taylor will now recite their vows.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ladies first.
Me first?
Absolutely.
Dylan, from the first day we met on the pier, exactly 3 years ago, I knew there was something special about you. Between dating long distance, endless phone calls, spending quarantine together, you showed me how beautiful life can be when you find your soulmate, even through a national pandemic. You've shown me consistency, passion, and loyalty, even in our darkest times, and I promise to do the same for you. I promise to support you and encourage you to be your best self and reach your highest potential. I promise not to complain about your shopping habits, but seriously, how many golf clubs do you need? I promise to take no less than 3 bites of food off your plate when we go out to eat. You never fail to put a smile on my face. I promise you will never have to walk through anything in life alone, because this journey of ours is about patience, learning, and love, and I'm here till the end. The list of things I love about you are truly endless, but I promise to spend the rest of my life adding to it. It doesn't matter where we are, and it never will, because with you I'm home. I can't wait to be your wife. It'll be the greatest title I hold next to being our someday future children's mother. I love you forever.
Oh. I gotta follow that. Oh. Oh, all right. Damn. Taylor, I knew you were the one for me from the moment I met you. It felt like time had stopped, and in that moment, you were all that mattered. The more we talked on the pier that day, the less I cared about the fish I was after. Thank you for being you, for always loving me and never giving up on me. There were times where I thought all hope was lost, and you were there to give me that hope. You're my inspiration and my motivation to keep going every single day. You've always believed in me and have supported me in everything that I do. You love me unconditionally. You make me a better person day in and day out. A bad day is impossible when each one starts and ends with you. I promise to give you personal space at least once a week while I may or may not be at the golf course. I vow to always love what you love. I vow to listen with an open mind and an open heart. I vow to support you in all that you do, every decision and situation, no matter what. I promise no matter how big or small, I'll always take the fish off your line. I vow to enjoy all the good times and to be by your side through all the tough times. I vow to remain honest and faithful, to cherish you and to love you unconditionally until my final breath. I vow to always put your needs before mine. And I promise that no matter what, you'll always be my greatest catch.
Oh,
I love you.
love you.
Oh, thank God.
The exchange of rings is a time-honored tradition. The ring is a never-ending circle. It has no beginning and no end, like the love that you have for each other. It is an outward symbol to the world, that the wearer's heart belongs to the other. Dylan, will you take her ring and place it on her left ring finger? And repeat after me. With this ring,
With this ring,
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
It is a token
It's a token
of my love,
of my love,
faith, and loyalty.
faith, and loyalty.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I give you my heart.
I give you my heart.
It is the greatest gift
It's the greatest gift
I have to give.
I have to give.
This right hand? Okay.
Repeat after me. With this ring,
With this ring,
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
It is a token
It is a token
of my love,
of my love,
faith, and loyalty.
faith, and loyalty.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I give you my heart.
I give you my heart.
It is the greatest gift
It is the greatest gift
I have to give.
I have to give.
It is said through one may be overpowered, but two can defend themselves. And the two of you together are stronger than you are separate and alone. Dylan and Taylor, since you have consented in my presence today and in front of those that you most cherish, it is an honor by the authority vested in me in the state of South Carolina to pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your bride. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. Alaska.